You got AZ going number 1, Hannah Stuelke didn't get drafted at all, and players on 0 draft boards going in the lottery. This isn't critiquing specific players because I do think a handful are going to great situations for them specifically. But a handful isn't a high percentage when 45 players should go into teams that at least intend on using them. Because around 42% are cut before opening night. So while first round cuts should be regrettable, you have about a handful over the last few years, it's way too many second round cuts for this to be a comfortable stat. The WNBA has historically filled the league, as far as the draft's concerned, on name recognition and college program prestige over actual production and fit with the team. And this draft kind of showed it again. There's really no equivalent to the NBA combine culture in women's basketball. The pre-draft workout process has no overall procedure all the teams follow. And with only 12 teams up until this last expansion boom, roster spots are so scarce that teams have to play it safe. With known prospects, you're not going to lose your job over. Because how far does a draft invitee have to fall before someone gets fired? You have a player in Tania Latson that ended up falling to number 20 in the draft after being projected as a top 15 pick.
With the 20th pick in the 2026 WNBA Draft, the Los Angeles Sparks select Tania Latson, University of South Carolina.
At the same time, the likes of Maggie Dugan, Cara Dunn, and Laura Ziegler didn't get drafted altogether, although they would be signed to training camp contracts after the draft. Raven Johnson fell to number 10, and Medina Olcott was still on the board for Atlanta at number 7. So why does this keep happening in the WNBA specifically? Interestingly enough, the league has been leaning more internationally, even if we have very little tape on the player. Again, the small league does try to stay conservative with picks, making it a lot safer to stay with top schools and basketball programs. And at the root of it all, there has been more demand than supply. Teams didn't have to get good at the draft. The most important players went top 3, top 5 at best, and then they just swung for the fences. Like most recent drafts, teams just expect the players they want on their team to be on the board, even if they have a late pick. Because that's really the only way you explain that Valkyrie Storm trade. A number 8 pick was essentially traded for 2 second-round picks, saying 2 things at once. Number 1, those picks outside of the top 5 aren't really valued properly. They're okay getting lucky, but they don't really expect much. And number 2, they did it to themselves, because how did 5 Bruins go in the first round? Literally breaking records, and deservedly so, no shade here, but did winning that title inflate their stock? In the NBA, March Madness is just one thing that's used in the overall scouting operation, and even then, the tournament can launch a player's draft stock. Anthony Davis's 2012 title game pretty much solidified his number 1 pick. Kemba Walker's 2011 run turned him from a mid-first rounder into a lottery pick. Even Carmelo Anthony, 2003, his championship performance pushed him into the top tier of one of their greatest draft classes. But those jumps also happen because NBA teams pretty much have full scouting staffs, analytics departments, and months of evaluations ready to break down those moments into real numbers. The WNBA doesn't have that luxury. With fewer scouts, smaller budgets, and limited travel, many teams don't deeply evaluate prospects until the NCAA tournament. Meaning March Madness isn't just a boost in your stock, it's the best stage to actually guarantee getting picked. If Angel Reese doesn't get so much attention during their championship run, I don't think she goes number 7. Not because she doesn't deserve it or wasn't good enough, but no one would have known to look or see and find that gem everyone overlooked. And it's almost by design. Instead of being one piece of a larger puzzle, the tournament ends up carrying more weight in an already unbalanced system. And what do you get from that? Overreactions, missed gems, and a draft board shaped more by who got hot in March than by a full season of scouting. And once you add in going viral, you're really climbing the ladder. And even then, it can affect those top 2 to 3 players. So did 5 Bruins deserve to go in the first round? Absolutely. Did March Madness help that number? Absolutely. So because it's been this historically bad, how do you even add in expansion teams? Well, I can honestly say the Valkyries thought outside the box enough to change the game. And it will become a factor sooner than we think. It's not talked about a lot because expansion teams are scouting scouting from scratch, but to get that edge, they've gone international. And while it's not a new concept, the money most definitely is. When the paychecks didn't match the demand the W wanted, it was very easy for an overseas player to stay in their home country, using the WNBA as leverage for better deals than actually planning on playing in the league, literally sitting out seasons. But now, not only do they want to play here because they're getting paid like professionals, they're younger than the college players forced to play those 4 years. But again, they don't have a massive scouting budget, so they're going off of limited tape, maybe one live evaluation, and simply betting on the fundamentals working itself out. The Storm will be studied for nabbing Dominique Malonga and Awafam Thiam as teenagers. Can you imagine keeping them happy? That's a 10 to 12 year run of solid basketball, and once the other teams catch up, Golden State and Seattle already have a head start because the change is coming. The Aces haven't dipped into the international pool yet, solely betting on homegrown players. And to their credit, the vets do run the league, but it's also getting younger. And unless they change the eligibility rules out of college, the cheat code will continue to be young international players the teams will start to invest scouting into. The new CBA requires additional staff, 2 developmental spots, and more investment into their players. Higher salaries have a lot of weight when deciding to play and stay in this league. And truly capitalizing on your product means finding the best talent, not just a hidden gem pick at 20 or signing undrafted rookies because the upside is great enough to get their best from that desperation. We're actually going to get better drafts, where half the rookies drafted aren't cut before opening day, or proven players have to wait until the end and take scraps from any teams that are willing to sign them, because that hurts the business model. And right now, you're pretty much guaranteeing the best players will not only not be on a roster, but on the court. And that's pretty much why I think the Storm won the 2026 draft. The fan base will be satisfied for years. They drafted strategically good players they plan to keep their entire careers while using the international cheat code. And cheat codes only exist when there's a gap in the system, and smart teams take advantage of it. If you want to see a team doing the complete opposite and actively losing superstars, then check this one out on the Chicago Sky.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, players.